team. Welcome to BE QuaranTeam Yoga. Today we're going to do kind of a short session. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like my, say hi to Leo, my attention span is a little short right now. So we're going to start out this series with just a 30-ish minute yoga practice to kind of get you guys moving, get your blood flowing, help get those hips, hamstrings, get the body loosened up. In our normal lives, we kind of tend to neglect that, and I'm guessing that that's probably not changed for a lot of us. So this is an opportunity just to kind of reset and just kind of get your bodies feeling good. As you can see, this is my house. It's very small and I have limited space. So I'm going to do the best I can with this area that I have. I might stop and face the camera and talk to you guys so that you can hear me a little bit better for poses that might need a little more instruction. So do as I say, not necessarily as I do, but I'm going to do my best to practice along with you guys, and please try not to mind the curious puppy. So here we go. We're going to start today in child's pose. So you're going to bring your knees wide to the sides of the mat. Your big toes are touching behind you, so your shins are in a V, and then your hips just sink back, arms stretch out, and your forehead lands on the mat. And then take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're landing in this child's pose, you're just letting the points of your body that are touching the mat just kind of sink in. There's nothing to do just yet. You're just letting yourself soften, letting your mind relax, letting it arrive here. And just be here on your mat and find your breath. So if having your knees wide is a little too much, you can always bring them a little bit closer together. If it's a little too much on the hips or the quads or anything else. Also, if it's too much in your shoulders for your arms to be out, you can bring them down into the goalpost arms or just adjust them however it feels better. And then let's take one more big deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it through your mouth. And then from here, let's pick those hands up and walk them all the way over to the right. So your both hands are off the mat, your forehead lands back down, and you just push into that left hand. So you're really pushing so that you're getting a long stretch down the left side of your body and into your left hip. And then let's go the other way, come back through center and go over towards the left. This time your right hand roots down, set your head down, and find that really long stretch down the side body. And then come back to center. Land here for one more breath, big deep breath in. And let it go. Open your eyes and come up into tabletop. So your shoulders are over your wrists, your hips are over your knees, and you're going to drop your belly down. Inhale, look up, press away from the floor. Should feel like a stretch through the belly, nice arch through the spine. And then exhale and press away. Let your head go completely and round out through the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round it out. One more time, inhale up. And round it out. And then come back to neutral. Turn your belly on. So what that means is engage the muscles that are in the pit of your belly, almost like there's a string and it's pulling towards your spine. So you should feel really engaged through here and a nice flat back. And then take your right arm towards the front of the room. Your thumb is facing up towards the ceiling. And your left leg goes back towards the wall behind you. I'm trying to adjust over my couch. So you're going to have a nice long spine. Flex that foot back there, the left foot. Good. Take a big deep breath in. And then exhale, bring your knee and elbow in underneath you. Inhale, reach it out. Extend. Find that length. Bring it in. One more time, reach it out. Extend. If you can, you're going to bend that back leg and reach around with your hand, grab a hold of your foot from the inside. If you can't, no big deal, just bend the foot. You'll still get a little bit of a quad stretch. If you can grab the foot, don't fall over, and push it into your hand, you'll get a nice shoulder opener here. And then release that, both hands down. Tuck your back toes. I'm going to try to do this with my couch back here. Move up a little bit. So your back toes are touched, and press back so that you're getting a calf stretch. And just pause here for a breath. And then you're going to take that same leg and cross it behind you. So now it's off the mat over towards the right, and you're going to peek over your shoulder at it. Should feel like a nice stretch in the hip. Come back to center, knees down. We're going to switch sides. So now you're taking the left arm forward and the right leg goes back. Find that length. Turn the belly on again if you forgot about it. So your hips should be square. Mine's a little lifted because my couch is in the way. And then take a big deep breath in. Bring your knee and elbow in. Exhale. Extend it out. Find length. Bring it in. Exhale. Inhale. Bring it in one more time. We might have done an extra one on this side. I'm not really sure. Extend it out. Find that length. Bend your knee. Reach back. Grab a hold of your foot if you can again. And keeping the hips square. Try not to let your knees shoot out like this. You want it pointed straight down. Pull that shoulder open. And breathe. Good. And then let it go. Bring the hand down. Tuck the toes back there. Find that calf stretch. Just pressing that heel back. And then let's take that foot and cross it over towards the left and look over your shoulder at it. And then you're going to come back to center, set that down, drop down onto your forearms, tuck your toes, and come into everybody's favorite plank pose. So your toes are tucked. We have no space for this. And then we're just going to hold here. See if I can find my seconds. It's really about the breath. So if you start to feel like you're sagging down or like your hips are lifting to compensate, just come back to center, start to breathe. And if you really need to adjust your form, you can always drop to your knees, take a breath, and then come right back in. Hang on to it for another 10 seconds. See if you've got just that long. Try not to sink into your shoulders. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees. Press it back into child's pose for 1 breath. And then lift your hips, come into your first downward facing dog. So we're going to come into down dog and then do a quick alignment check. So from here, shift forward into your high plank. So your shoulders should be right over your wrists in a straight line. And then when you shift back into your downward facing dog, you shouldn't have to move your hands or your feet, and that's about the alignment that you want. Whew. Put a little bend in your knees if you don't have one already. It'll take some of the stress out of the hamstrings so you can really just get into the spine. Stick your butt up a little higher towards the ceiling and bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. So less this, more of this. And then from here, take that right leg, send it straight up towards the ceiling. Just do your best. It might not go very far. Bend that knee and roll the hip open towards the left. So you're moving in the direction of stacking one hip over the other. And then take some circles with that ankle one way or the other. And then set it back down. Send the left leg up, lift it high. Bend and open. Try to keep your arms straight, weight centered through both hands. Take some circles with that ankle. And then set it back down. Take a big deep breath in and let it go. And if downward facing dog isn't a super restful pose for you, if it's a lot in your shoulders or you just need a break, you can always drop to child's pose and use that as an alternative. It's there for you anytime you need it. So from here, you're just going to tiptoe your feet up into a forward fold. Give yourself hip width distance in between your feet, which is about the distance of 2 fists put together in between your feet like that. And then you're just going to fold. Again, a little bend in the knees here is a great idea. And you can rock side to side if that feels good. Shake your head no, shake it yes. Start to let that tension fall out of your shoulders and your neck. And then if you want to grab your elbows, go ahead and do that. If you're folding and your hands don't touch the floor, grab your elbows or put them on a block or something, whatever you have. You just want your hands to be grounded somewhere. And then let go of your arms if you're holding on to them, and slowly, super slow, 1 vertebra at a time, roll it all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up, take a look at them, stretch it out, let it feel good in your belly, and then join your hands at your heart. Close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and hold it at the top. Inhale. And let it go. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. So here, this one's important. You want a flat spine, so what we see a lot in halfway lift is a lot of this, rounding through the back. You want to keep that back flat. If your hands don't touch the mat, bring them to your shins, pull your shoulder blades onto your back. So you should probably just start in this pose here. And then if it's comfortable for you to bring your hands down and keep your back flat, you can. Otherwise, hands on your shins, shoulders on your back. And then bring your hands to the mat, step back into high plank. Ooh. There's my couch. You're going to bring your knees to the ground, and we're going to take chaturanga from the knees first. So chaturanga, your elbows bend. They come close to the sides of your body. Stop when they get right to the sides. And then inhale, untuck your toes so the tops of your feet back there are on the mat, and press up into cobra. So cobra is thighs down. Upward facing dog is thighs up off the mat. Either one is totally fine. They're interchangeable. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Good job. Inhale, look forward. If you want to jump, you can. Otherwise, you're just going to take small steps, or I like to take one big step. It just feels better for me, to the top of the mat. Inhale, look up, find that flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, bring it up. Exhale, fold. We're going to start to move a little faster here. We've got short time. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. This time we'll do chaturanga from the toes. If you're working to build upper body strength, or you find that you can't keep your form in chaturanga from your toes, then be sure to drop to your knees. It's really important that your form is good in this pose. You need a straight line from the crown of your head back to the point of your body that's touching the mat. So your elbows bend, they come down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog. And know that you can always cut chaturanga out. It's optional. You can go straight from your high plank down to back to downward facing dog. If chaturanga just isn't your jam today, that's totally fine. Let's go through that vinyasa one more time. Inhale, look forward, bring your feet to your hands. Look up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, go back. Elbows bend, come down. Inhale, look up, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. From here, you're going to step forward again. Look forward. Take one step or many. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. And then bring your feet together. We're coming into chair pose. So your big toes are touching. And then your heels are just a little bit apart. I'll turn forward so you can kind of see it this way. Toes touch. Heels are just a tiny bit apart. Arms outstretched and sit back. So you're sitting back into your heels. You should just be able to see your big toes if you look down there. Again, turn that belly on. It should be engaged throughout the entire practice. Now is a good place to remember to fire it back up. So your yoga practice should be a core workout through the entire thing, whether you knew that or not. Little fun fact. All right, I'm turning back this way. Again, you can see my chair, sitting back into the heels. Exhale, fold, straighten your legs, look up, halfway lift, hands to the mat, go back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog, and then from here you're going to step your right foot forward all the way so it's underneath your knee. You don't want it here. You want it to be stacked bone over bone. Inhale, rise up. Warrior one. So sorry, you're going to drop that back heel down to the mat. Your left toes are pointed at about 10 o'clock, so your foot is at kind of an angle out to the side. Sink into that front knee again, core on. Start to gently pull the right hip back. Arms go up. If arms up is too much in your shoulders, if you have any shoulder issues, you can always alternate it by just bringing your hands to your heart. I do that a lot. If it's just getting a little bit too much in the shoulders. But otherwise, arms up. And then from here, you're going to open it up to warrior two. So you're shifting your feet so your back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Your front heel is about in line with the middle of your back foot, so it should kind of look like an upside down T. Sink into the front knee. Arms are out. Send your gaze out that front finger. In yoga, we call the gaze our drishti. So if you hear set your drishti, that means that you're just setting your gaze softly at a point in front of you that isn't moving. Finding your breath. And you're going to flip that front palm. Reach it straight up towards the ceiling. Don't pull yourself out of that lunge. You're still sinking in. Reaching up, finding space. You can reach up and then start to reach back just a little bit. You don't have to go too far. If this hand that's on my leg is uncomfortable, you can always wrap it behind your back as well. And then from here, bring both hands down to the mat, step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press it back. Downward facing dog. Let's do it on the left side. Left foot forward. Drop that back heel down to the mat. Stand up, rooting into the ground, reach up. So your left toes are at 12 o'clock, pointed straight forward. My right toes are pointed out to the side with the heel grounded in the back. Really pressing weight into that back foot and guiding the left hip back. And then let's open it up into warrior two. Again, shift your feet, take a breath to get them where you want them to be. Front heel in line. Arms out, sink into that front knee. Make sure the knee is not collapsing in. It needs to be open. You should be able to just see the big toe on the inside of that leg. Set your gaze, catch your breath. Flip your front palm, reach it up. Reach up, sink in, find space down the left side. And then give it away, hands to the mat, go back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bring your feet to your hands, come into forward fold. Look up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your feet together. Come back into chair pose, reach up. And then from here, you're going to come down into Ardha, which is, it's called skier's pose. It kind of looks like you're skiing. Your palms are face down, belly down towards your thighs, but it's still engaged. Turn it on. Inner thighs are hugging together. Interlace your hands at the base of your spine. Press your knuckles back. This should feel like a big shoulder opener. If you can, you're going to lift those heels up off the mat for a little bit of engagement through the legs. Sink your hips in a little deeper. Good, and then set those heels back down. You can give yourself some space in between your feet if you need to. And then you're going to forward fold. Keep your arms if you can. If this doesn't work for you, if your arms don't float or it's just uncomfortable, you can let them go. And then release your arms. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Go back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Step that right foot forward again, come into warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Gonna go a little faster, open it up, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reach it up, and then this time you're gonna come into side angle. So this forearm, the right forearm lands on top of the right thigh. Reach the left arm out alongside your chin line. So what we see a lot is arms back here. You want to give yourself space in between the shoulder and the ear. So bring it forward a little, your palms facing behind you as much as it can be. Good, and then let's reverse it one more time. Reach the right arm up, keep those legs right where they are, and then bring your hands to the mat, go back. Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, warrior one. Drop that back heel down. Inhale, rise. Open warrior two. Flip your foot palm, reverse it, and come into side angle. So again, the forearm just lands on the thigh. There's no weight in it. It's just there to set the pose. All that weight should be in your legs and in your core, and you're finding length from these fingertips, the right fingertips, all the way out that back foot. Sink your hips in a little deeper if you can, and then reverse it. Keep the legs where they are. Reach up. Bring your hands to the mat. Go back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Take a breath, big deep breath in, and let it go. Good. From here, you're going to send that right leg up to the sky again, just like we did before. Bend your knee, open your hip, and then shift forward. Pull the knee in towards your nose, really hug it in. This should feel like a little shot of core work. Press away from the floor, hug that knee in more, round out, and then step it through into crescent lunge on the right side. So this time your left heel back there, the one in the back, is lifted, and the knuckle of your big toe is stacked over your toe, and then you rise up. So it's important that this leg is super straight and strong and engaged. So we see a lot of this. Do your best to straighten it. If you have really tight hamstrings, it might not get all the way straight, and that's okay. You can also, if this is too much, you can alternatively drop that back knee all the way down to the mat. We might go there anyway. But for now, we're here and just breathing. Again, that belly is on to protect your lower back. Back leg straight. And then we're going to join our hands at our heart. Go ahead and drop that back knee all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes and hook the right elbow to the outside, the left elbow to the outside of the right leg. So your options here are to be right here, pressing the top hand down into the bottom hand. You can also, if this twist is too deep, you can just go right here. Either way is fine, but choose one. I'm going to go back here, pull the shoulder blade onto the back. The core is still on, helping you keep your balance. Good, and then from here, we're just going to release this and bring both hands down to the inside of that right foot. Wiggle the right foot over towards the right side of the mat. My mat is scooting, so I'm going to move it back a little bit. There we go. And then you can stay right here on your hands. Make sure that knee is over the ankle or a little bit further back. You don't want it again here. This is no good. Bring it forward. So you can stay right here. You should feel some opening in the hip flexor, inner thigh, and inner thigh area. So right through kind of that groin area. And then from here, if you want to come down onto one or both forearms, you can, or if you have something you can prop yourself up with, if you're somewhere in between, you can do that. You're going to take that right hand from here, either with your arm down, or you can lift it back up and bring it to the top of your thigh, fingertips facing away from you. Push away from the leg. Let that knee open if you can, and look up over your shoulder. Try not to sink down into the shoulder, press up out of it. This should feel like a really good hip opener right here. Come back to center, both hands down, tuck your toes, lift back up into that low runner's lunge, and we're just going to step it back and go right back into your downward facing dog on this one. I promised you 30 minutes and I'm running out of time, so we're going to do the other side. Send the left leg up, bend and open, and then step it through into your crescent lunge on this side. Give yourself space widthwise between your feet. If you feel unbalanced, step one foot to either side to give yourself a little more space. And then rise up. Ooh. Crescent lunge. Again, once you get up there, turn that core on, lengthen that back leg as much as you can, and breathe. Set your gaze. Join your hands at your heart and twist to the left. Actually, drop the back knee down, forgot that part. Untuck and then twist to the left. Either lift it and twist or twist the elbow. Press the top hand down. Look up over the shoulder. And then bring both hands down to the inside of that foot. Shimmy that foot over towards the side. Bring it forward a little bit if you need to. And you can stay here on your hands. Or come down onto one or both forearms. And then I'm going to take that left hand, bring it to the top of the left thigh, and push away. Open up that leg if you can and look up over your shoulder. Good, and then come back to center. Tuck your toes, lift up, and step it back into your high plank, and right back into your downward facing dog. From here, you're going to step your right foot forward again, coming into warrior one. So we've been here before. Rise back up. That back heel is on the mat. This time, straighten the front leg all the way, and then fold. We're going to take a quick hamstring stretch here. So your leg doesn't have to be completely straight. If it doesn't straighten all the way, that's fine. You should just be feeling a stretch down your hamstring in the back of your leg. And then bend back into that knee, rise back up to warrior one. And bring your hands to the mat. Go back, chaturanga, they're almost over. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog, and let's do the left side. Warrior one, step that foot forward. Inhale, rise. And straighten the front leg. Fold out over it. If you need to step the back foot in order to do this, go for it. You might need to step it in quite a bit. I should have said that on the other side. Wherever you can be that you're getting a nice good stretch down that back leg. And adjust your feet. If you stepped forward, come back into warrior one. And then bring it down. Go back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a breath. Big deep breath in. And let it go. And then from here, you're going to look forward and just bring yourself through to a seat. Come forward. Lay right down onto your backs. We're going to go do a couple of bridge poses. Pull out through that spine. So your feet are close to you. You should just be able to brush the backs of your heels with your fingertips here. Your feet are straight forward. Your toes are pointed out probably a little bit. Turn them so that they feel a tiny bit pigeon-toed. And then press down into your feet and lift your hips. You can stay right here. But what you want is to really lift through the heart. So if you can, you're going to interlace your hands underneath you and walk your shoulders under and really press that heart up. If this isn't accessible, if this hurts your neck or your back or your shoulders in any way, then just bring your elbows right here and press down like this, either way. Pressing into your inner feet. And then let's release it and come down. Let your knees fall to the side, to the right, and then to the left. Just a quick windshield wiper to let go of that lower back. And then you're going to go back up again. Press down, lift up. Really lifting through the heart. See if you can let go of some of the tension in your glutes and let the the weight shift into your quadriceps. Just another way to be in the pose. And it gives you a little bit of space in your lower back. So I'm actually going to interlace my heart a little more. And then release it and come down. Knees go right and left. We're going to go up one more time. If you have a full wheel in your practice, arms here, you press down and lift up, go for it. It's not great for my back, so I'm going to go right back into bridge pose one more time. Interlace your hands, press down and lift. Keep that breath moving in through the nose. Back out through the nose is how we breathe in yoga. And a deep cleansing breath if you need it. I don't know if you can see Leo right here, but he is quite bored. Release it, come down. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly and feel the rise and fall of your breath. And then from here, pull your knees in, give yourself a hug. And grab a hold of your feet. Insides or outsides, doesn't really matter, whatever feels better for you. I like insides, you can try them both. See what you like. Elbows are coming, or knees are coming down towards your armpits. And then you can stay here, or you can roll around if that feels good. Happy baby. Do whatever puts a little smile on your face. And then release it, pull your knees in and rock your way up to a seat. Straighten the legs all the way. Sit up tall on your sits bones. Feet are flexed back towards your face. And then let's turn your hands around and press yourself into a long spine. We're going to start to shift forward. You might not go very far, depending on how flexible you are in your hamstrings and your hips. So if this is your edge, wherever you hit it, you can stay right here with this long spine, or you can bring your hands forward and just kind of come forward. So what you want to avoid is this rounding, because you just lose the stretch in your hamstrings. It's just a totally different stretch. So the action comes from the hips. You hinge forward, and you should feel a stretch in the hamstrings, maybe in the calves. If you can reach your feet, grab a hold of your feet and pull them back towards your face for a little extra calf stretch. Another fun idea, if you can reach your feet, is to take your thumbs and press them into the knuckles of your big toe, grab the outside edges, and pull towards you. And it'll give you a nice stretch in the peroneals in your feet, on the insides. Not your feet, right behind the ankles. And then the same thing, grab a hold of your feet, press the outside edges forward. You're going to feel this right behind your ankle on both sides. And then bring it back up. You're going to pull your knees in, feet come together, or pull your feet in, sorry. Pull your feet in, knees are wide, sit up tall. And same action, hinge forward until you hit your edge, and then this time you can kind of round over your feet. And then bring it back up. Let's come back down onto our backs. So just shift all the way down, and we're going to finish in a supine twist. So pull your knees in and let both knees fall to the right. So you can just let your knees fall. I like to kind of stagger my legs. I think it helps get into a little bit deeper of a stretch. It feels better for me. Either way is fine. If you need a little more, you can take that hand, bring it to the top of your thigh, and both shoulders are on your back. And then just let your gaze go over towards the left. And then let's go the other way. Knees go to the left, shift the hips, arm comes out, look over towards the right. As always with anything, if it feels painful, pushing, pulling, sharp pains, throbbing, maybe just let that pose go. Come back to center. Pull your knees in. Give yourself a great big hug. Really squeeze it in. And then let it go. Legs go long. Palms are face up alongside you. I cannot extend all the way out into Shavasana, but we're in Shavasana. And then you can just stay here. I'm not going to lay here in Shavasana and make you guys watch me, but if you want to take a Shavasana, it's usually 3 to 5 minutes and just laying in a comfortable space, eyes closed, and just in stillness, just noticing the rise and fall of your breath. Otherwise, you're just coming up to a seat, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart, lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders. Take a deep breath in and hold it at the top. Inhale. And let it go. Let's do that one more time. Big deep breath in. And release. Bring your thumbs to your forehead center. Namaste. Awesome job, you guys. Thanks so much for sticking around. By the way, if you're wondering what namaste means, it means the light in me honors the light within you. So it's kind of a greeting and a goodbye at the end or whenever you want to say it in your practice. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. I hope you guys feel awesome and enjoy. Bye-bye.